Hello everybody, it's Mike here, and I just played Sly Cooper Thieves in Time, and as promised, here is my review of the game. If I had to describe it in one word, it would be beautiful, amazing, fun, enjoyable, nostalgic. All those words would come together and describe how this game is. I mean, this is definitely what Sly fans have been waiting for, and I would say it's definitely worth the wait. And, I mean, granted they could have at least done something else, but still, I mean, Sly has been in a few cameos, like his appearance in PlayStation All-Stars, some things in a couple other games, and that other game that can go suck zebra balls. I digress. Overall, the game is definitely a lot of fun. Let me start with the beginning. The story takes after the ending of Sly 3, where Bentley's building a time machine, and then all of a sudden, the pages of the Thievius Raccoon start disappearing. So he has to call back Sly and Murray and their friends and stuff just to solve this big mystery of who's tampering with the universe. And so then they go back in time using actual objects to pinpoint which locations they go to. Like, they get a feudal Japan dagger to go to that time period to meet Ryuichi Cooper, Sly Cooper's ninja ancestor, and as it turns out, he's also a master sushi chef, so that goes together really well. I'm really glad how they did that. They have some really good voice actors coming on this. They brought back the original crew, which is really cool. You get to hear like the same characters do the same voices. Except for Carmelita, of course. They bring back another voice actor for her, and what she does with that is actually really cool. I mean, they give her back her Latin accent, and makes her a lot of fun. She's a fun character. You get to play as her again this time, and her gameplay is actually a lot better than it was in Sly 3. It's a lot more comfortable. But the thing is that she doesn't get a whole lot of missions and gameplay opportunities, so that's alright. I mean, it definitely does, like, give the big spotlight to the ancestors, who are also playable characters, and that's fun. You get to play as the different ancestors. For example, Ryuichi, his special ability is called the Leaping Dragon. He inspire jump on things and then launch himself towards distant objects. And then some of the other characters you get to see, there's his medieval England ancestor named Sir Gareth Cooper. He's a very bombastic character. I love that. I think he's my new favorite character now. The thing is that he does this thing called the catapult crush, where he can latch onto objects and launch himself into the air to like break through objects and stuff like that. I really I think that, like, the thing I kind of had a problem with at first is that there's only 5 episodes. I mean, really, but the jobs and missions you go through are very lengthy and very fun. They tie into the world that they're in, so I think it just really brings out that equilibrium. The villains are a lot of fun too. We've seen like El Jefe and stuff like that in concept art of the other characters. There was this one named Grizzle B, whose name is now changed to the Grizz. He was a lot of fun. He was my favorite villain of the whole game. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like him, but I really did. He said a lot of funny stuff. Like, this one really hilarious thing he said that had me pause the game and crack up was when he said to Murray, he goes, "I'm gonna smack the pink off you." That got a good laugh out of me. And just the game in general has a lot of good jokes in it. It's just literally funny. Especially from Sly's point of view. He just says a lot of witty comebacks and stuff like that, like he's always done. The gameplay with Bentley, I'm getting to him now, is really improved. I mean, you can go up behind enemies, press the circle to pickpocket. That's very useful. I really wish they had done that with Sly 3 instead of just having the pickpocket tool assigned as a power-up, because that was kind of clumsy. And Murray, on the other hand, his gameplay has changed a little bit. It's now pressing the triangle button to thunderflop while jumping. I usually press the square button now, thinking that's going to do the same effect, but it doesn't, so it just takes a little bit of adjustment getting used to some of the controls. They're the same as far as previous games go, but there is some adjustment while evolving to the PlayStation 3, which is understandable, and I'm really glad that they do stuff like that. I mean, there's no longer a gadget grid. There's like, you press different buttons to like perform different combo attacks and stuff like that are purchasable from the ThiefNet computer. And what else can I say? Oh yeah, there are different treasures you can collect, like you could in Sly 2, but instead of them just being throwaway, they actually have their own unique little backstory, which I think is really cool. and then you can collect them all, and you'll unlock a special reward for that. I think that's really cool. And the reward is pretty fun. I mean, it's not really stand out, but you'll see when you get there. I'm trying to keep this spoiler free. There are also Sly masks, which are these new collectibles where there's like 50 total throughout the game. 60 actually. Yeah. Yes, sorry. Throughout the game, and you collect them all to unlock different upgrades and not upgrades. I mean, like they're little customizable things, kind of like in the Jack games where you could just like toggle his goatee and stuff like that, and then I don't know, just things like that. They're okay. They're fun, and the clue bottles are back, which is pretty cool. You get to open a safe, and then you after you collect all 30 of them in each hub world, and then you get like a special reward that all characters can use. Not something generic that only Sly does, but just like something that you can do, like you get twice as much health, just to throw out a little example for you. As a whole, it's definitely a very welcome installment into the Sly franchise, and I love it. It's a really fun game. I'm really loving playing this game. I just had a thought there. Oh yeah, the combat, it's not really that much improved. I mean, a lot of people say it's lacking, and I kind of agree. The small enemies are very easy to defeat, just like you can force them into a wall and just keep whacking at them. But the bigger flashlight guards, who are pretty much blind as bats, they take quite a few hits, and they'll deal some damage too. It's okay. But overall, you can just pickpocket them and avoid them altogether. The boss battles, on the other hand, are actually really welcoming to combat, because they all have a different strategy you can work out, and you can use the costumes that you collect in each world to defeat them. Each costume has like a special ability that you can work out and do stuff with. Like, for example, one of my favorites is this, it's called the Jailbird costume, which is like your typical 1920s jail, like prison outfit, and it has like this big black ball and chain attached to it. And so what Sly can do with that is he can not only just bash objects and enemies with the black ball, but he can also stand on top of it and roll around to like get across floor lasers and everything. But just all these new details and like attention to detail, that's something else. I mean, I really am glad that they were able to stick with the formula that works, and I'm definitely gonna keep playing it until probably the end of the year, or something else comes out later this year. I'm looking forward to Metal Gear Rising and The Last of Us, so I'll definitely have some fun this year playing those games, and I'm very glad that I picked this one up on the day of its release. And I can only hope that you guys have fun too and appreciate the Sly franchise as much as I do. Alright then, that's my 2 cents on what I think of the game, and you can share your own opinions too, and I can't say anything else other than repeating myself, so that's pretty much all I can say.